So is everybody having a good time? Even you? Is everybody having a real good time? Well, let's get together and have a funky good time. 1, 2, 3, hey! Yeah. Ooh, it ain't on the groove. Come on, man. Everybody saying gonna have a funky good time, all right? Come on. We're gonna have a funky good time. 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 Take 'em up. We gotta take it higher. We gotta take that higher. Oh, y'all pretty good. Come on. We're gonna have a funky good time. 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 Take 'em up, take 'em up. We gotta take that higher. Everybody put their hands up. We gotta take that higher. I would blow, but you gotta say Fred. Gotta say Fred. Gotta say Fred. Fred. Come on, call my name, y'all. Fred. Who's your daddy? Fred. Call my name. Fred. Call my name loud. Fred. Who's your daddy? Fred. Who's your daddy? Fred. Yeah, Fred.
Fred Wesley.
Look here, ladies and gentlemen, we have in the house one of the funkiest tenor players in the whole wide world. I'm talking about Philip Wyatt. Get down for him, Philip.
Fred, I want to get down in D.
In D. D. You be like, down D,
Down D.
funky D,
Funky D.
dirty D, dirty D. All right, let's go to D then, all right. Gonna have
Thank you very much.
Don't complain. Don't talk negative. That's average people talk normal. Average people talk problems. The greats talk solutions. Average people use their time to whine and complain. Average people say it's their boss' fault. It's their mother's fault. I used to be average. I used to say, when is my daddy coming to get me? When is my biological father gonna come in my life? And when I would talk like that, I ended up getting kicked out of school. And while I talk like that, I ended up being homeless. And while I talk like that, I was broke. And then one day I woke up and said, Eric, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to get you. But you can go to the library and get yourself. Don't.
GTTC.
Who with me? Come here. Sorry I'm late. Sorry I'm late. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Wyatt Live, 1 p.m. Facts over feeling. My apologies for being late. As you know, I just arrived in Cincinnati and I had a lot to do today. Let me put the comments up. Why aren't you guys complaining about the comments? What's good? How we feeling today? Let me get this thing going right. Hold on one second. There we are. How's everyone doing today? Can you hear me? Let's do a mic check because I'm telling you, I sat this thing down and hit the power button and hoped that it was connected right. You know how sometimes you leave the plugs in the back of things, and then when you get where you're going with it, you just plug in the one plug and everything else is still in its same spot. Yeah, well, I tried that. So are we good? JD, what's good? Jason Dockery said sounds good. We sound good. How we looking? How we looking? You can't really see. For some odd reason, you can't see the stripes in my shirt. You can't see the stripes in my jacket. But I'm striped out today. All right. And for some odd reason, these 4K cameras do tricks on clothing and all this other stuff. They do a lot of tricks. But I'm not here for you to look at me. I'm here for you to hear me. Damn what I look like. If I go to a black screen, it shouldn't be what I look like. It should be what I sound like. You know what I mean? Let's go back to it. Shouldn't matter. How we feeling today? I'm going to be honest with you. There's two things that I don't look forward to in life. There's two things that I avoid. Well, there's a lot of things that I avoid. But let me just tell you the two things when it comes down to weather that I avoid. The first one is snow. I don't do snow anymore. I haven't done snow in years. All right? That's why I do the Florida thing. I don't do snow. Okay? That's an S. The other S that I don't do are storms. I don't do snow or storms. I don't do it. So I had to get my ass out of there. And my wife and I had a discussion some years ago, couple years ago, right at COVID, right when they start doing the COVID lockdown, and she was getting on my ass about, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, she was getting on my ass about properties, cause like I don't lease or rent my home out. I don't do that. It's something about me. When I grew up, when I was growing up, all my friends used to like, hey, let me wear that Celtic jacket. Let me do this. They would change clothes. You know what I mean? Like they would borrow each other's clothes. I was never that guy. Don't ask to borrow my shit, and I promise you I won't ask to borrow yours. I just didn't like wearing, y'all know I got this phobia. Y'all know some of y'all know me about, my sock game. Only reason why is because my grandmother, y'all gonna be, tripping on me for saying this shit out in the public. My grandmother used to wash my clothes in the Lar home sinks. And I had this phobia of always her washing my underwear and my socks and shit in the sink. And a lot of us did it. It's not beneath us. It's just something that I looked at and said, I am not going to live like that. It was a motivator for me that I didn't want to live like that. I don't want to wash my socks and my drawers and shit in the sink and hang them out the window or on the windowsill or set them on the radiator. Some of y'all old schoolers know what I'm talking about. I'm not too good to tell I don't think I'm too good today to tell you the shit that we all went through. Where Mama Birch at? She had drawers and shit hanging out the back window up on the third floor where she lived, right by the laundromat. Sorry, Mama Birch, I had to tell. Had clothes hanging on the line outside and all that old shit. We didn't want to do that. So I had this little thing that I just didn't want to grow up like that. There go Mama Birch. She said, are on the back kitchen chairs. Then remember we used to put our clothes and shit on the radiators? If you never lived in the projects, the radiators is the hottest thing. You will burn your ass on radiators. You could literally get a case. 241 kids will come look at you and say, your mama must be beating your ass. She must be burning you with the hot iron comb. Because them radiators, boy, if you wake up in the morning and go to the refrigerator in the kitchen, this happened to me, and you lean on one by accident, that's your ass. I probably still got a radiator burn on the back of my back. Just from sitting on it at the wrong time. But that all being said, all jokes aside, the two things that I don't do today in my life is I don't do snow and I don't do storms. And my wife got on me right around COVID. I was talking about that. She got on me right around COVID and was like, why don't we use the house as some income? And I'm like, I'm not renting the house out, especially during COVID and shit. I don't know who going in there. I don't know what's going to be left in there. But you paying taxes on properties. The COVID thing was a drain for a lot of people. Do y'all know that 30% of small businesses in America didn't recoup from the COVID situation? Them shutting America down. 30% of businesses. Now, y'all know black-owned businesses probably suffered. Now, this is my opinion based on what I know about capital in America. Black-owned businesses who didn't have the same ways of being able to do things in America when it come down to their businesses, not having the capital. Out of that 30% of small businesses that shut down during the shutdown of America, that 30%, how many do you think were small businesses owned by black folks in America that was part of that 30%? It was horrible. I thank God today. I wake up thanking God today that I personally was able to weather through that storm. I told you right on the air. I lost hundreds of thousands of dollars during the COVID lockdown. And if you don't believe me, I don't care. I'm not bragging. I'm just being honest. And there's a lot of black-owned businesses that couldn't sustain that type of loss. The reason why I'm bringing that up is because we're going there again, whether y'all know it or not. 2 years later, all of a sudden, mysteriously, here comes COVID, and here comes the lockdowns. They're around the corner. Y'all might not know it yet, but we got another election coming up. So all these things that we need to align the people up. Some people don't give a shit about how many times they trick you, as long as they get the job done. As long as they get the job done, and we live in a world right now, and when I say world, I mean America. We live in an America right now where people will utilize the same tools on your ass time after time after time after time. They don't care how it get played out. Because evidently there are some people that just go with the flow, don't argue, they step in line, they accept whatever authority tell them to do, they just don't care. They must be right, they smooth, they got on clean clothes, they look like they're articulate, they're smart, everybody else doing it, so why not me? I never was raised that way. I never was raised to just follow the group. You know, y'all know the old saying, if your mama told you, if everybody jumping off the roof, would you go jump off the roof? My mother never had to ask me that. My mother never had to ask me that. My mother knew sometimes some shit was going on in my life because I'd come home by myself and it'd be early. It'd be early in the day. She'd be like, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing. I'm chilling. Where's your friends? They out doing what they do. Oh, they on a lick. They out doing some shit, huh? Like, yeah, they doing what they do. They doing what they do. So I never fell in line. Now, I can't say I never fell in line, but I pick and choose the battles and the licks and the thing. Pick and choose. See, a lot of people really think, here's what I say to people who say, and this is a little change up, but I want to go here today a little bit. The people who say, like I mentioned Larry Elder yesterday, and we were talking about working hard. If you work hard, you won't fail in America. See, y'all really think working hard means getting in the dirt, grinding it. You ever heard of the term working smarter and not hard? That's pretty much, that comes in the same conversation of working hard in America. Working hard in America is not working on the railroad, hitting the hammer on the head of the nail, forming track after track after track, and then I'm going to be a millionaire for working this damn hard. No, working hard includes working smart, learning how to maneuver, learning how to hit certain things in life that don't see you coming. What I've learned in life is real simple. Everything that see me coming prepares themselves for me. The things I've been able to achieve are usually when I'm going in a direction when the things that I'm trying to conquer don't see me coming. There's this strategy in boxing. Where my boxing fans at? I want to use this analogy that I learned from boxing and I brought it into my life that I'd like to share with everyone. I'd like to share this. This go to those that say he don't know shit about boxing. I'm going to show you what I know about boxing by breaking this analogy down for you. In boxing, there's several size rings. The boxing ring itself. There's several sizes. There's an 18-foot. There's a 20-foot. There's a 22-foot. There's a 24-foot. There's even like a 26-footer. And what that means is the distance from corner to corner, side to side. And what I learned in life is in boxing, those that don't stand a chance They have a slim chance, a boxer's, puncher's chance of winning. Let me ask you, just by show of hands or just by guessing with me, what do you think the ones who stand a chance of losing, or excuse me, of winning by, a slim chance, what size ring do you think they want? Do you think they want the 20-inch ring, or do you think they want the 26-foot ring? A puncher's chance, the guy who has the least likely chance of winning unless he gets lucky. What size ring do you think they want? 20 being the smallest, 26 being the largest. Thank you, David Herring, for giving an attempt. Thank you for making thank you for engaging. I want to see a couple more. Thank you, AK-47. Angela Kinney said bigger. So I'm going to say you want the 26-footer. Come on, where are my boxing people at? Where are my people that think strategically? I want my strategic people to come in and say something. Where are my strategy thinkers? Where are my chess players? Let me pose the question again. If I'm a puncher, a brawler, and the only way I can win is to get lucky, do I want the smaller ring of 20 foot, or do I want the 26 ring, the larger ring? Huh? All right. I see some people in here making some comments. Angela Kinney, I got her. Andrew Artist says smallest is all it takes is one. DC Daryl Carpenter says the 20. Smaller, so op is closer. Oh, that's Fame. Yes, okay. Angela Kinney. Oh, the smaller. Okay. Angela says she misheard it. Here's the answer. Very simple. They want to reduce the size of the ring so they can stay close. I relay all that type of shit to life. When people reduce the amount of knowledge, the amount of anything that you need to progress, when they reduce that, they know you have a better shot at winning. They know you have a better shot at winning when they reduce the ring size. Yeah, that a smaller keeps the opponent close. That's right, AP. So I just use those type of analogies in life. I say we need a bigger ring. Because if we get a bigger ring, we get more information. We become the boxer. The more information we get, the better chance we have at winning. See, I don't see us as a lucky puncher. I don't see us as that. I see us as a type of person or people where the more information we get, the better boxer we become. The Sugar Ray Leonards of the world. The Aaron Pryors of the world. The people that thought inside the ring and then just go in there swinging for the fences. David Herring said telephone booth fight. That's what those who can't really fight want. They want to keep you suppressed. They want to keep you in a small little box. So you would just keep swinging for the fences and not apply logic to your fight. I'm here to get you a bigger ring, expand our thoughts, expand our information so we can think clearly and have a strategic fight versus a fight that we've been having for 50 or 60 years, swinging at the fences, saying the same shit, blaming the same people, putting the same people in place. It's just logic where I come from. I don't know where you from, but logic leads the way. It's unlogical to think that what you've been doing the same way for all these years that's not really working for you is one day going to work. We just need one more piece to this puzzle, and the puzzle will be complete. That makes no sense. Y'all ever seen that Snoopy Charlie Brown? Where Snoopy, I guess it's during Halloween. It's either Halloween or Thanksgiving. Where Charlie Brown go to kick the ball. And what's her name? Peppermint Patty or one of them kids. One of them badass kids. Always snap the ball. Now, I've been watching that shit for 40 years of my life. And Charlie Brown ain't kicked the ball not one time. But every time he go in line to get ready to kick the ball, he think it's going to be different. Every time. The scene is the same. Now, y'all know I've been watching this shit for 40 years and Charlie Brown ain't kicked the field goal yet. What makes Charlie go to the line and run to kick the field goal? Why does he see his friend there or a person that looks like him or a character, whatever it is? What make him think that he ain't going to pull the ball back? Charlie Brown is redundant. He's looking for a different outcome from the same person doing the same shit for 40 years. So if I ever call you Charlie Brown, you know why. If I ever now y'all know what a chaos agent is, but I don't know if you know what a Charlie Brown is. So if you ever get referenced as Charlie Brown, you know why. Let's go to the phone lines real fast before callers been holding for a whole 9 minutes, and they're gonna lose their mind if I don't pick up the phone. Let's go to the phone lines. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Wyatt.
I was only
Put some
kidding.
respect on my name. Put some respect on my name.
Only kidding, drop.
Wyatt.
What's
boy,
up,
you
brother?
be cracking me up.
What's
Your
up, brother?
ass getting old. That's all it is. I just got to remind you because you get on a roll because you know your mama and your daddy blessed you with the gift of gab. You never talk about where that came from in your family. You tell us a lot of things, but you never tell us, where did you get this gift, Wyatt?
You know what? Let me just be honest with you. My mother is a know-it-all, okay? But a good kind of know-it-all. She's a logical thinker. She don't really say a lot until she has to say something. She's a rational, logical thinker, and she don't really say a lot until you really until you get that till you need that ass whooping by words. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I know what you're saying.
And here's the blessing. Here's the blessing from a curse. My father, who was not in my life, he's a street dude. He was a hustler. He shot dice.
There you go. You just said it. That's where you got it from.
Wait a minute. I don't want to give too much praise to that because my father, I think it's a huge combination of my mother and my father. I think my father has more of a battery in my back than my mother does. My logical and precise way of thinking how I do things in life come from my mother, honestly. But my father was a fearless dude. The only thing is he was scared to take care of me, but he was fearless of the streets. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was a combination. It was a combination. My mother and father probably no different than maybe like an Al Sharpton's mother and father, but I use my talents a little bit different than he does.
Right. You said your mom was a woman of few words, but when she spoke with authority.
Yeah, she'll kick your ass.
Right. And then you said your father, which he didn't raise you, no influence at all, came from the world of hustling.
Yeah.
Also known as finesse.
Yeah.
You have to have the gift of gab in order to finesse someone. And I'm not saying you finessing the people that follow you.
No, you're
but
right.
You're right. You do possess a gift, Wyatt. And I'm telling you, bro, God ain't through with you. He got you here for a reason. But the reason I call, my brother,
let's hear it,
is because we have two things happening at the same time in America when it comes to desperate Democrats never letting a serious crisis go to waste and avoiding other local shit that they don't want to go national. And I didn't listen to your show yesterday, but I caught a little bit of the first 30 minutes or so when you was talking about digging in the Fame Rothstein's ass, aka the Betting Public Sports Show. What up, Fame? And you were talking about this, and Wyatt, we had the Jacksonville shooting, which of course the media jumped all on it because of the elements involved, and it coincided with the commemorative march of the March on Washington 60th anniversary. And then you also had a shooting in Chapel Hill. I mean, and on the campus of North Carolina.
That's right.
Where an Asian man shot another Asian man on campus who have ties to China and the Wuhan Institute. So again, Wyatt, that's why I'm here as your political scout. Because the more information I give you to go along with your ability to also put this shit out there to your people, and not being a Trump supporter, as you called out, saying, "Oh, that shit's funny." I gotta listen to the rest of that show. But
he called me a Trump supporter on another show. He ain't called me.
I called Emmanuel the day before yesterday. Yeah. Oh hell yeah, I let him have it, bro. Coming with that bullshit line of questioning because I'm a black Republican. The same bullshit all of them do. Well, what is it that the Republicans have? Why do you want to be a Republican? That old bullshit. Instead of asking the real question, why would a black man leave the Democrat Party for that white racist Republican Party? They never asked that question, Wyatt. But again, my brother, you keep pointing out this chaos, Wyatt, because it's an election year and it's heating up. And before I go, they are so worried about Donald John Trump, aka the first gangster president. They are so afraid of him, Wyatt, that they are talking about using a provision in the 14th Amendment from freaking 1880 during the Civil War about insurrection.
Well,
and try to say that we're going to take Trump's name off the ballot.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, look, man. As much as I want to say this, it's gonna.
But don't defend Trump.
Nothing that I'm really saying. It just happens to be that Trump is the subject matter, okay? But the truth of the matter is the fact that they're reaching so far and dumping so much all at the same time. It does give some form. It gives me a notion of fear. There's something going on that we have to stop. And I mean, I'm speaking in broadly. They're feeling they have to stop something because if something happens, we gonna be out of here. We're gonna get exposed. It's almost like if you I don't know how to explain this, brother, but if you're in a crime family, what do they do to the snitch? What do they do to the guy that can mess it all up? They get rid of him by any means necessary. They'll risk anything to get rid of the guy that can mess it all the way up for him. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't care if people take my opinion as being support for Trump, because I don't care what people think about me when it comes down to politics. All right? But what I do care about is what happens to my people. And one thing that when I ask my people is, what did this man ever really do to you while he was in office? He ain't, y'all talking like he's never been in office. And if he come and get in office, he's going to destroy all black folks. He's going to make it a living hell for everybody here. We're going to lose all our rights. Black folks going to go back in chains, which in fact, those was Democrats that was talking all like that. When you have to use these fear tactics like that, it makes me wonder, and it puts me on edge of why. Now, with me talking like this sounds like I'm defending Trump, but he just happens to be the subject matter. If this was anybody else, just like I did Ron DeSantis in Florida, If you hate, I could see it. It's coming for the Vivek dude now. He's out of Cincinnati. The more success they get in in the political numbers, the more attacks they get. And it's not, and as long as you ain't on the radar of success and winning that race, then they don't mind you. They don't care what you're doing. They don't care because you're no threat. And my thing is this, man, and I know that sounds obvious. You always have to go after the threat. I get it. But what clearly is that threat? Now, yesterday drop, you missed something. I did go in on Fame a little bit. That's my guy, though. I don't like doing that. That's my man.
It wasn't the first time.
Yeah, but he's because of some shit he did. He started that.
No, but see, okay, but Wyatt, you gotta understand what Fame, what his meaning is when he does this to you. Okay, all he's saying is choose another way to prove your point.
To who?
That's
me?
all he's saying.
To me? He's saying that to me?
Yes.
But
that's what he's saying to you.
Did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he said about me on E-Man show? On Emmanuel's show?
Yes, he called right after I did. Emmanuel was in the chat.
Okay.
He called right after I did.
So you take what he said as not an insult of what I did?
No, that's why I keep telling you.
Okay.
Fame Rothstein, a.k.a. Mr. A.k.a. Glenn from Mason, Black Lion, me, all talk radio vets who knows how to, I ain't gonna say manipulate a host, but knows how to articulate a different point of view with the host without totally alienating the host. Because eventually they all come around and squash it and settle it.
So make me, Wyatt, the bad guy in making your point about something about Trump over on another show.
Right. That's because you feel, like I said, you feel hurt that Fame, a person that you agree with most of the time, would say something like that about you.
Yes. Wouldn't
exactly.
You?
Because it hurts you because you think that he knows you're not a Trump supporter, so why would he say it? That's what hurts you.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you something right now.
He was the other guy.
Both of y'all some confusing motherfuckers. Y'all confused the shit out of me, both of you. I don't get it.
That's okay though. Why? Out of confusion comes consensus.
Maybe what I'm telling you is this, bro. It didn't seem like it was support for me. When you go over, hear me out, then you can have the floor. It didn't seem like support for me when you go to another. See, I know how people burn the candle from both ends, and that's the shit. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, but you don't know talk radio, bro. And podcasting and YouTube channels came from talk radio.
I know how to be real. If it means to be bananas and fake and all this old fake ass hidden mirrors and all this code sending smoke signals to get your point across, you right. I don't know how to do shit like that. All I know how to do is keep shit 100. I know how to make it where you don't have to second guess what I'm saying.
You remember at the beginning of my call when you were describing the father that you didn't know coming from the hustle world. And what did I say? Another meaning or another word for the exact same behavior is called to finesse someone.
Yes.
Okay. So it's just a different way of getting the same thing done. Getting someone to agree with you or to follow what you're saying because they don't know how to say it. That's all a hustle is. That's all a finesse game is.
That's what I call manipulation. But go ahead.
But see, that's what happens on talk radio and radio callers. And I'm telling you, Fame is the freaking OG of calling radio. I'm 62. Fame is in his 40s. You in your 50s. I done heard it all, Wyatt. This is something about one thing and one thing only. When it comes to callers and hosts, it's the people that are listening.
What are you saying? What are you saying? I guarantee you I ain't the only one that know what you're talking about.
You're worried because what Fame said about you on the E-Man show is going to be heard by people that also listen to you. And
No,
you're thinking your
no,
reputation is
no,
going to be
no,
ruined
no. See,
because
no,
what they heard
no,
Fame say about an opinion that you had on your show.
no, you're wrong. But
I
you,
know I'm wrong. I
no,
know.
I'm
Wait.
about
I'm
to tell you
listening with
why.
my mouth. Am I listening with my
No,
mouth?
not yet, because I ain't saying shit yet. I just want to correct you. I just want to correct you, and I want to come 100 so you'll understand my feelings and why I feel the way I do. Because I rocks with Fame. Fame know it. He know it. I just didn't agree with what he did on that one, and he know I'm the type of dude that's gonna say something, and he gonna say something. I'm sure he'll be back on it. But all I'm saying to you is this. And you could be right in the radio world. I don't think radio world. I don't think like that. But now let me explain to what I'm talking about. I live in the Cincinnati area where it is a demographic of all Democrats. The radio in the black radio in my area of Cincinnati, Ohio, is Democrat. They don't have any conservative talk show radio or podcasters in the Cincinnati area that I'm aware of. So when I want to share the radio, when I want to share the audience of radio or podcast like Emmanuel Livingston, I feel it to be a stab at me when you go over to those radio stations that don't like what I say and make me out to be more of a villain instead of having the approach of, well, maybe he's saying something that makes some sense. You should hear him out. Or maybe he's doing this, or maybe his way of thinking is like this and this and that. No, you want to make me out to just be a villain where everybody don't really rock with villains. They'll just be like, well, I'll wait for the other show to come on tomorrow. I'm not gonna listen to him. There's people wait a minute, that you make me out to be a villain so people won't rock with me. Now his intentions may not have been that, but I know how certain people think. I know how they rock. And I'm just letting you know, in where I live, where I grew up. Look, man, a friend of mine named Steve Spencer told me this a long time ago. Now, I don't know what city you want to put this on, but he put it on. He told it to me, and he told me what city, and I'll leave the imagination for everybody to put whatever name they want on it. He told me a long time ago. He said, you got to be careful, brother, because where we live, people adore success, but they root for failure. You get it? They adore success, but they root for failure. They will adore you once you make it, but they really cheer for your ass to fail before you get there. And then once you get there, now they want to be on your bandwagon. Now they want to be cool with you. I understand exactly what he's talking about. Now, I told him that ain't just my city of Cincinnati that's like that. There's a lot of cities like that. And then I came to the conclusion that, damn, most places I've ever lived that had a certain demographic thought that way. You know, they cheer for success, but I'm sorry, they adore success, but they cheer for failure. It's the total opposite. And there's a lot of people around you, around these audience, that they are in that predicament right now. They think that the people, do you know your enemy's friend is your enemy? Did you ever know that? Did you ever know that? Because it's true. Your enemy's friend is your friend. That's a true statement, and we need to learn that shit.
Okay, Wyatt, again, bro, you were just on a roll, and I appreciate it. But you got to remember, Cincinnati is a market, okay? All the shows that come on in Cincinnati, they're mostly on YouTube or on in a podcast form somewhere. But guess what, Wyatt? The audience is basically in the Cincinnati, Ohio area. Okay? So everybody who listens to talk radio, they listen to everybody.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
That's why, Wyatt, that's why the shows never compete with each other.
Listen.
They're on all day long, just a different voice, but the same message, the same advertising.
What black radio you talking about?
I'm talking about any urban community
we got talk radio.
Who has syndicated black shows and talk radio in the afternoon or during drive time.
We got one black radio station in the city of Cincinnati that does talk radio. They have a show that comes on at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's done at 1. Then they have Al Sharpton that comes on with his syndicated show. I guess that's 1 to 3. And that's it. After that, they do the rerun of the same shit. That's it. We don't have
Okay, but
any
then
alternative.
you didn't mention yourself.
Well, what
You didn't mention
I said
at the
radio.
At the time, you had Nathan Ivey. He had his show. Now you got E-Man. He's got his show.
What I'm telling you, I'm sorry, you're right. I'm sorry. I want to correct it. I did say radio. Okay. There's a lot of people that don't really even know about these podcasts because they're not, you got to understand, drop everybody. They're not doing.
Okay. All right. Why? We're going to have to agree to disagree on
No,
this one.
I'm telling
okay,
you
brother?
my market. I don't know what market you talking about, but we talking about where
I'm talking about the urban market is the urban market. Wherever there's black people, it's going to be a black radio station. Okay.
And I'm describing the black radio station in my area. That's all
right.
I did.
So again, out here in California, Al Sharpton is not syndicated, but you can listen to it on the radio on your phone.
Okay,
on whoever, on Google, wherever. You can listen to it now. Okay. These shows are syndicated. All I'm saying, Wyatt.
Read the comments.
All these people that you are worried about hearing something that another so-called somebody you mess with call another show that's different from yours. But E-Man, he'll claim you and him are the same because E-Man claims he don't promote either party. But that's neither here nor there.
Now, everybody in the world let me say something about that. Everybody in the world or anybody that watches this podcast or any other podcast, being E or the Radio Guys podcast or the radio on radio, everybody know that this show right here is totally different than anything that they've ever had in the city of Cincinnati. That's black. And I'm truly black owned. I'm black owned. I am a black owned individual.
You're underestimating your audience, bro. And all I'm telling you is it takes a bag of nuts for a black person to call a black show and say he is not a Democrat, he votes Republican. But it's a lot of people that listen, Wyatt, that think along the same ideology or the same thought process.
I get it.
It's the same. But when you're in the black community, you're gonna catch hell from your own people. Other than the so-called white racist Republican Party.
Well, you tell me about how that must feel. I mean, like I don't know.
I've been living it since 1988.
Well, I've been living it for 3.5 years now on the Wyatt Live show because I can't possibly think the way I think. I don't know,
But Wyatt, I'm one of them Negroes just like you one of them Negroes, okay? I had the ball because I was raised to speak my mind, to question things. I remember my father used to send me to the store. And I came back one time and I said, I couldn't find. He was like, what do you mean? Did you ask someone? No, take your ass back to the store. If you ever can't find something or you lost, you better ask somebody. So I've always been that way. So when I found out the real deal about politics, I wasn't afraid to express it around black, white, or whoever. But just like you come with your shit legit. And ain't too many gonna try to challenge you. But you got people like Fame that's on the same level as you when it comes to intellectual ability to process the cultural evolution in Black America.
And that's why
y'all know how to break that shit down and y'all can articulate it. So I'm just saying, he is your friend, but he knows what he's doing when he calls these other places where people also know you. Because it's the listeners. It all comes down to the people who listen. Shout out to Mary Birch Lavender. Shout out to Regina Griffin. Shout out to Ross Freeman. Shout out to Stephen Speed. Shout out to Anthony Prosser. Shout out to Angela Kinney, also known as AK-47. And shout out to the Wyatt Live show, growing by leaps and bounds. Peace out, my brother.
Peace to you.
And stay black.
That's all I can do. I don't have a choice. That was dropped. Sorry, he was still on the phone. I didn't mean to cut you off, brother. Look, let me explain something to you. If y'all think that I'm like mad at Fame, I'm not. It's not the first time Fame and I didn't had to have these conversations. My question was, why did Fame think that I was supporting Trump versus what I was actually saying? I was talking about some of the case stuff that I was noticing. But then it got into a thing where he went over to the other side and, to the other show, which I don't care. But why would you say that I'm sick in the stomach of Wyatt? Yo, boy, E-Man, yo, boy. Yeah, he over there defending the Trump fella. I had to play video yesterday of real black people supporting Trump. And whether if y'all want to hear it or not, there's a lot of black people in America right now who are defending Trump. Okay, whether you want to hear it or not, maybe you need to get out of your own backyard and get out and hear and listen to some of these younger podcasters. There's a lot of people that's really severely pushing the Trump agenda, and I don't have a problem with it. I know what they pushing on the radio station in Cincinnati. They talk about Trump more than they talk about the current administration. And I've always questioned why. Now, if that's me defending Trump, I guess I'm guilty. But I'd like to know why Fame felt like bringing my name up in defense of Trump on another radio, on another podcast where he know that they are really aggressively some Trump haters. Straight Democrat over there. Straight Democrat party on radio, podcast, other than Wyatt Live. And I'm not suggesting that some of y'all not Democrat. But my question is, why did my brother have to go over there and be like, your boy over there capping for the damn Trump fella and blah, 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 when in fact his main man, 100 grand tall, call in here almost every day or every other day, drop, talking about Donald Trump, the Don, and all this old shit, King, first black president, all that. That's capping and taking up for him, but he ain't even mentioned, he ain't say that, he said me. Let's go to the phone lines. Maybe we can get some answers to all of this. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Oh, this is Fame. What's up?
Fame, you brought some answers. Did you bring the combination to the safe?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, well, let us have it.
This is hysterical. This is hysterical.
What's funny about what you did? Yeah, it was fun. What's funny about what you did?
The way you reacted to it. First of all, off top.
They say same guy. You're not dropped. This is not dropped. This is Fame.
No, this is Fame. This is Fame. Fame Rothstein. I'm gonna howl at the end. Please listen. Please pay attention. Drops 100 million%, 1 trillion% right. As I told you, the way whatever you're trying to tell us about Trump, it ain't working. It ain't flying right. It don't sound right.
Did you
Maybe
say that?
It's just me.
Let me ask you something. Ask you something. Did you say that to Drop? Have you ever said that to Drop?
No, Drop doesn't have a podcast with his name on it.
But wait a minute.
He's trying to get black people to follow.
Wait a minute.
You do. There's a difference. You're not Drop.
Drop talks
is a caller to listen
wait a minute, hold on. Let me just say this.
You guys don't equate. This is apples and oranges.
You said, wait a minute, hold on. Is it a fact that Drop comes on here and talk about Donald Trump and politics on the? Isn't that really like his flow? And I don't like not like it, or I feel disrespect when he does that. But he brings the political talk to this platform more than anybody, more than anyone.
He calls it. That's what he does.
And when he brings strategic ways of what's going on with Trump, either I'm going to agree or disagree. But when have you ever heard me lead a conversation without Drop being involved, unless it came from the other platform being maybe the radio station, and I heard some ignorant shit told to my people, and I clean it up, and then it might sound like I'm capping for Trump, because look, have you ever been told to hate somebody, Fame, and you didn't know them? Have you ever been told to hate somebody and you don't really know that person?
Absolutely.
So how do you feel when somebody tell you to go hate somebody, but yet you don't know that person to hate them? Don't you get offended by somebody that think you that dazzle or that stupid to buy into that shit?
Yes, I don't necessarily get offended, but
I kind of get offended, bro.
Yeah,
I
but I'm
kind of
like,
get
oh,
offended.
wow, okay.
I kind of get offended because I don't like when people come at me like I'm a snowflake, like I'm a dummy, like I'm some type of bumpy on the log or something. I don't like that.
Mhm.
I don't like that, and I don't think anybody should like it when people are, man, what the hell? Fame, run! Run!
No, that's the fire department. Go ahead, continue.
I'm just
sorry.
playing.
They go.
Go ahead, brother. The floor is yours as long as you can keep the sirens down. Run!
No, I just feel that at the end of the day, no matter what I don't care, whatever Trump's going through with the courts, and whatever. I mean, this guy's just clearly has no gravitas. At the end of the day, and Drop can come in and say what he wants about it because this ain't the Drop show. This is your show. And what your mission to black people is, I feel like that is a horrible example. Like he said, you better come up with another example to prove your point.
Like who said?
That's all I'm
That's what
saying.
you said. That's what you said.
I guess I didn't say it enough on your show. I was like, let me talk to him about this.
So now let me ask you something, Fame.
About him.
Let me ask you something, Fame.
Homie about him.
Let me ask you something.
Did you know Yo Man's and them over there liking Trump? I think he's a supporter. That's all.
That ain't what you said. That ain't what you said, Fame. I didn't told you, bro, if you gonna come on. Bro, that is not what the hell you said.
To the point where your ass took 10 minutes of your show, the last 10 minutes, and talked about me. You cut off the ring. You came out with a 20-foot ring instead of a 26 ring because you wouldn't take calls. You were just talking shit about me for 10 minutes. I'm like, God damn.
I have 5 minutes to look, bro.
It was 10 minutes. What's running? It was 10 minutes.
Well, whenever you called, I didn't have enough time.
You know how long it was.
Well, you know what? Whatever time it wasn't enough time, and you know it. That's why you ain't really mad about it. You know I was trying to get off the show. Emmanuel was already on the air, and I knew if I took your call, run, Fame, run.
Go ahead.
And you know if I would have took your call, we would have been on the phone a whole nother hour. I don't want to disrespect my brother, Emmanuel Livingston. I want to pay respect to his show and let his show go on. If we would have called, I would have had to cut the power button off, and you and I would have still been on the phone. We'd probably still be on the phone right now. If I would have answered that phone.
That would have been a great cliffhanger for your show because you could have been like, will Wyatt and Fame continue with another argument?
No, Fame.
These questions and more on the next episode of the Wyatt Show.
Well, this ain't good times, brother. I don't need the to be continued sign at the end of my show. Everybody knew your ass was going to call today. Okay? Everybody knew, based on me coming yesterday the way I came, the only way you wasn't going to call is if you was in the hospital or doing some other shit. You was going to make that call today, Fame. Everybody knew it. Include myself.
They was looking forward to the call. They were looking forward to the call
so now let me ask you.
On SSI looking forward to the first.
Exactly. So now let me ask you something, brother. We've always shook hands at the end of our conversations, but I got to ask you, why would you go over? Is Drop correct in what he said, or is he wrong like I was thinking he was wrong? Be honest. Why did you go over to another show and say that I'm over here supporting Trump, bro? Why would you do that?
One, that's your man. Y'all, it's not like I went to a whole different show who you don't rock with. And two,
it don't matter.
Like Drop said, you're not giving a good account of your position on this.
That's not what Drop said. That's what you said.
That is what he said.
That is not what Drop said. There you go, getting 6-piece. He getting a 6-piece wing and a white T-shirt. Get up out of there, bro.
Right. I'm in the hood store, man. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm listening.
And a pack of Black and Miles. Get your ass out of that damn Shell gas station.
No, hold on. I'm not. I ain't no damn Shell gas eating Chester's chicken.
6 hot wings, a white tea, and a pack of Philly Miles. Get your ass out of there, Fame.
You got jokes. That ain't got nothing to do with the fact that you're wrong on this. Drop was right. I'm telling you simply, you need to come up with a better point.
So wait a minute. Give me this. Since you disagree with me, I need to know, since you disagree with me and you agree with Drop, what did Drop say that you agree with in our conversation. How was I wrong and he was right? About what?
About you not proving your point right. That's all I'm doing is telling you that you're not proving your point good enough.
Wait a minute. I was not trying to prove a point. What point was I trying to prove?
When you keep trying to, whatever you keep trying to say about Trump, you keep trying to equate him to whatever. You're just trying to sell his clown to us. To me, he's whether you use standard English or you use hood English, he is not presidential.
Okay, he may be not be. I've never said that he was a presidential. I said that he does not have any diplomacy in his conversation. Have you ever heard me say that?
That's got nothing to do with you selling them.
Wait a minute. Now let me ask. Wait a minute. Yeah, that
requires. This is a white man worth $1 billion. You know, whatever he's doing to get whatever he ran afoul of, he really did it because he's got lawyers to knock shit off. Like, you ain't finna indict my client.
But what you're saying,
going after this guy.
What you saying, bro, is not even making any sense because you just said he's a white man with $1 billion and his lawyers are cutting shit off. That's a lie.
Yes.
He's been indicted. He's facing 91 charges, bro. 4 different districts, all indictments. How is they're not misdemeanors? You ain't got no misdemeanor in no motherfucking federal court. What are you talking about?
Oh, I thought he had all the charges were in Atlanta.
Fame, get up, bro. What are you talking about? Have you ever seen a misdemeanor in the federal court?
Regardless of any of that,
you ever went to jail? You ever heard somebody going to jail for 10 years on a misdemeanor?
Listen, now you're trying to turn it into semantics. Fame don't know what he's talking about. The fact remains is that the guy has no gravitas. So whatever you got to say about him is always going to fall on deaf ears to me. I was one of the people with the alt middle amongst the first people, the black people, to say we need to redirect back to the right a little bit. But when you come supporting Trump or, like you do, and saying the things you say about him,
you got to be specific.
That sounds like we've overcorrected.
You got to be
slide into the skid like they tell you in driver's ed. Slide into the skid. You're trying to overcorrect and you're about to crash right through a fucking barrier.
You have to be more specific because you talking like a chaos agent when you say things with allegations and not be specific. You're not putting any meat on the bone of what you're saying. To say that I'm simply just supporting Trump without giving factual content of what I'm saying that supports him, it means nothing to a guy like me. You got to give me what I said that makes you believe that that is a factual defense of what I'm saying about an individual. You got the wrong one, bro. I'm not easily manipulated by words, nor am I easily circled or pinched in corners. Y'all got the wrong one when it comes to that. I need specifics and details. Don't just tell me I'm a Trump supporter and can't tell me in what way I am. And you can't do that. That's what they do to make people feel ashamed for supporting the things they support. I'm not ashamed to support anything that I support. I am a man of principle and morals. I would never try to drive someone down a one-way road, shoot them in the back of the head, and escape like I never done anything. I don't do that. That's just not me.
There was also another reason why I wasn't mad, because I realized that, I'm just one of these type of people, it's kind of like what Drop was saying about talk radio veterans. I'm just one of these people whose words move people in an authentic, genuine way.
I understand that. That's why I rock with you.
And that's just me being me. So I ain't gonna, that's why I'm just like, okay.
That's why I rock with you. I ain't never gotten mad at you. Never. I've never been mad at what you said on this platform. I ain't never been mad at what you said on other platforms from other morning shows, afternoons, evenings. None of that. I just want to know this question. I need this question answered. Like I asked Drop. I said, well, Drop, why would Fame go over there and say that to a crowd of people that don't rock with me? Emmanuel Livingston people are Lincoln Ware's people, and they don't rock with this type of conversation. So for you to say something like that, it puts them even further. It distances us even further in our philosophies of thought. They don't even want to try to hear what I'm saying. So why would you say something that deters them from even listening to me even more? And I don't think that you really did it on purpose, but see, like Drop, you might be thinking like the radio veterans, and that is, well, if you stir up enough controversy about this guy, then he might be worth listening to, and those type
I'm
of
gonna tell
people
you right
will
now.
listen. Go ahead.
I just seen comments from 3 people that I've never seen on your show, but I've seen on the Buzz and on Emmanuel's show. So therefore, people are listening. They're going to listen regardless. There's a void of good talk radio in Cincinnati for Black folk, straight only Black people. And this is being on the internet is uninhibited, for the most part. So therefore, people are going to listen regardless. Why you're belly aching and throwing this conniption is beyond me. It's beyond you. It's unbecoming.
It was because
it's deplorable, as a matter of fact.
I'm gonna tell you what it was. It's because I thought you was better than that with me. See, you gotta understand. Don't get it twisted.
Look at it like this. I might have cross promoted your show.
Maybe you did.
See, you looking at it as a negative shit. That's not because only a negative nigga would do that.
So now
negative niggas or what?
Now let me ask you this, bro. It looks like a lot of the things, and you're gonna call this promoting Donald Trump or capping or taking up for him. But if you look at what a lot of the younger Black folks in this country are doing right now, and they're making these podcasts and they're making these comments and they saying a lot of things about this Trump dude and they talking Trump 24 and all that old shit. What has given him as much promotion? He has not got as much promotion since he's got those indictments have helped him in the Black community. And I personally think that a lot of the shit that he's going through right now with the Democrats and filing all these indictments, it's actually helping him. But do you think the Democrats was really trying to help him? Do you think their intentions was to help him by giving him all this promotion, giving him all of this free thought of mind of Black folks? That wasn't their intent. They wasn't trying to do that.
It wasn't their intent, and he's kind of milking it by, saying, look at me, I'm just like the rest of y'all niggas. I get overcharged by the government too. I get over adjudicated as well.
Right. So what I'm telling you is there are Black folks in this country right now that are starting to wake up to what they've been taught about an individual. If Trump was all that they said he was, do you think he would be facing all the things that he's facing right now in the court system? How much power does that mean? You really think so?
Yes.
When was the last time
Alton Conan probably got over adjudicated, but he needed that shit.
Now, let me ask you something. Since you say a white billionaire man, when was the last time you seen a white billionaire man go through what that man going through right
now? What's that dude name? Bill Gates and the
Bill Gates ain't never faced no federal indictments.
They did. It was just civil.
That's not that's different, bro. Civil cases don't require jail time.
Right, I understand that. But you asked me what billionaires went through that. I'm telling you,
those were not indictments.
A white billionaire went to federal court over some bullshit.
Those were not
You weren't specific enough. Which is what Drop was saying. You're not being specific enough.
No, that's what Wyatt says, to be specific in your points. And it's very specific when I use the word indictment. You don't get indicted on civil charges. Okay, there's no such thing as being indicted. It's a civil case. I asked you a question. When was the last time you seen a white billionaire get indicted? That's not pertaining to civil cases.
Oh, okay. Well, what's his name? Sam Bankman-Friedman. The GPS guy, or whatever his name is.
Look, bro, everybody know that was a Ponzi scheme. He was not a billionaire.
Oh, man, come on. Now you keep moving the goal line.
I'm not moving the goalpost. That's a different situation.
Moving the goal line. It's a 100-yard field, man. Why do I got to go 120 yards
because you're not,
time?
Okay, if you ask me to name a fruit that's not orange and I name a fruit
I'm not asking you to answer shit.
No, I'm giving Fame, I'm going to say this before you get off my phone. I ain't got nothing but love for you, brother, and no matter what, I will stay loving you. But I'm not mad, brother. I'm trying to get off the phone with your ass in a peaceful kind of way.
You took up off my phone call. What's the bullshit? I want to talk about something else.
Okay, bring it up. What's happening, brother? Let's water under the bridge with you and I.
I hope. Yes, water under the bridge. It's the motherfucking Spence Bridge. All
I
right.
told you to keep
I
my
really
name
hope.
out your mouth, and you took that shit over. Yo, I can't stand it. I got to bring it up one more again. Keep my name out your mouth. I'm just
Hey,
kidding, brother. Go ahead.
At least, hey, listen. As
I'm
angry
only
as you
kidding.
sound, it's convincing
Yes.
because at least your beard connects.
All right,
You
brother.
know, be a lot of these niggas walking around here with these happy trails, beard not connecting, trying to act tough. You know what I'm saying? But
I got
listen,
you. I got you.
I hope that this Marjorie and Steve Harvey story is fake.
Yeah, I asked about that. Sorry.
Because because we're talking about splitting what 800 million he's got.
Yeah.
You know, 800 million split into 4 and 4. It's like that divorces weaken dynasties. You have a dynasty here, an empire, the Harvey family name. You know, Steve, wife, the little girl, or the young daughter, you know, young adult daughter. You know, to be like the Kardashians, the Black Kardashians, if you will. Just, you know, but what I'm saying is with a dynasty, you know, I read it in a book. You know, the Ford dynasty, the Ford family, the Toyota family dynasties. You know, the one thing that a lot of these dynasties never had, divorces at the top of the dynasty.
Now
To split it up
a
and
valid
weaken
point.
it.
That's a valid point. But let me just ask you this about the Steve Harvey thing, since you lightweight taking up, you saying that I hope it's not true, and all of that. I'll be honest. I'll tell you my opinion after I make this point. I don't know. Run, Fame, run. I'm just.
I'm sorry, man. I guess it's just busy in the city today. But
It
go
is.
ahead.
You must be down in the hood. That's all I can tell you, because fire alarms and shit like that just don't happen in the suburbs like that, bro. You must be down the way. Like I said, you right there by that damn Shell gas station.
There's some chicken. Well, go ahead.
But anyway, let me just say this to you. We all know that divorces may not happen, but divorce type shit happens. We know that. But they're strong enough not to do the divorce thing. It's cheaper to keep her. They all have that type of way of thinking. Here's the other thing, though. I got a question about the Steve Harvey. I need your opinion on that. What is Steve Harvey doing to make you think of anything pertaining to a dynasty? What is his name on? What is he doing in America that pertains to dynasty type of behavior?
Well, I don't know if he's I don't know, you know, what kind of like other than what's public, you know, I'm sure he owns a portion of the Family Feud franchise right now. You know what I'm saying? But whether he's not is or isn't, you know, having 800 million, that's a hell of a start to a dynasty.
It is.
You can do a lot of work with that.
It is.
As far as securing future generations.
Yeah, but what it looks like is going to happen, because Steve Harvey's not a young man. He's an older guy. He just do well looking younger than he truly is. And I don't mean this as a stab at him, but what I'm basically saying is, I would expect, if you're looking for dynasty stuff out of a man like that, I would see his name on dynasty type stuff. I mean, I don't see Steve Harvey's name at the HBCU libraries. I don't see his name, you know, on a like Tyler Perry has his studio. This is not a shot at him, Fame. This is me showing the difference between a motherfucker that's here just getting a bunch of money, stacking his money, and truly leaving a dynasty. Dynasty folks leave a difference. They put their name, they become monumental. I don't think Steve Harvey will be that. He'll be monumental with a star on the Walk of Fame in Hollywood, but he hasn't shown me anything other than he kind of lightweight pimp black men for a minute and used black men as the beating board for him to sell some books. I didn't appreciate that. But that all being said, I ain't really mad at him. But if you want to use his name and put it in dynasty type behavior, he's going to have to do more things showing. He's going to have a dynasty like family-oriented business, have a high rise somewhere, do something that's more dynasty type related. He's not a dynasty. He's not pushing dynasty energy to me. That's just my opinion.
I got you. Maybe we're getting at the same. Well, no, we're not getting at the same thing. But I see what you're saying. I'll defer to you on that.
I'm not saying that he's a bad guy. I mean, because I don't know him. I hear a lot of rumors. Some people say that if the wife thing that he got cheated on and all that, he deserves it. All of that type of stuff. They say he left his first wife she was pregnant. He ended up with her. I know a little bit about the girl, you know, his current wife. I know a little bit about all of that. But they say that about rappers too. They ain't with
Right.
their baby mama. They out here with the Kardashian girls. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
it worked both ways. So I can't be mad at Steve Harvey. He was getting his money. Now, I mean, he just doing what he do. I ain't mad at him, but I definitely don't listen to people who say one thing and do another. I just don't listen to people like that.
Facts, I got you. So I'm gonna hop off here. I lied. I said I was gonna howl at the end. That's my new stuff. I'm about to give y'all my old school sign off.
That was it? I guess that was it. I don't get it. He said, ugh. Sound like you was blocking. Sound like that's a blocker. That's a line. That's an offensive lineman blocking for someone. That's what it sounded like to me. Okay, well, I'm glad we got that all cleaned up. I'm glad me and Fame still cool. Regardless of what he said, I was gonna be cool with him. I just didn't like the fact that it's almost like if me and Fame were comedians and we were on the Kings of Comedy tour. And say I'm one of the Kings of Comedy and Fame one of the Kings of Comedy, and he go out on the stage before me because I'm funnier. And when he go out there, he do some shit that kind of make the crowd, we in Detroit or some shit. No, we in Cincinnati. We in Cincinnati and Fame say some shit about, his joke and the crowd going crazy. He got him guy, and all the death, right? And then all of a sudden Fame says, okay, his time is up. And now here come Wyatt after him. But what he do is he kill the crowd. He killed the crowd by saying shit like, now you know the next mug that's coming up, y'all know him as Wyatt. Now, I know y'all black folks in Cincinnati don't care for Trump, so don't give him a hard time. He like prep him up not to like me. I know y'all don't like the Trump guy, Everybody, calm down the booze. Now, Wyatt is a Trump supporter, but I know Earl. He's trimming up. He prepped the crowd to not like me more. That's the vibe I got from Fame when he went over to Emmanuel's show talking about your mans, Wyatt. He over there talking about this, and then he tried to put his opinion on Drop. You know how Drop say you had the wrong approach. What Drop and I were disagreeing on was my way that I said Trump need to move on. If Trump really cared about the Republican Party or the people of America, he needs to move on. Y'all have heard me say this a million times. Trump is a bad ambassador for the Republican Party. That's what I've always said. Drop don't agree with that with me. Drop always got a different answer about Trump. We don't agree about the Trump situation. And I've said it on the show, right, with Drop on the call. And I would be like, hey, bro, I don't really rock. I like Trump as a businessman. I don't like him in politics because he doesn't have don't have any diplomacy. And there's a lot of people that that really like that about him. There's a lot of people that like the fact that he'll say whatever he wants to say and do what he want to do. But there's a lot of people that don't care for that type of individual because the establishment is making you think that to not like him for other reasons outside of him calling Rosie O'Donnell something. See, what y'all don't understand is he's been called on MSNBC, CNN, and all this. He's been called all these racist terms, and then they isolate black women that he called all these terms, that he said all these things about. And they totally don't even say anything about the white women that he said things about, the white men he said things about. Every time Trump opened his mouth, it seemed like they equated to black folks. And the only people that give a shit about that type of talk is black folks. So I'm wondering, why do you want black folks to be so angry at this man when I could clearly see that he's not being discriminative when he uses his insults? He don't use those insults purely on black people. He called the prosecutor a name. I don't know one black man in the city of Cincinnati that's ever caught a case and a prosecutor get up in front of a judge and say some crazy shit about him, and he don't think what he don't be like, this motherfucker crack, this dumb old racist motherfucker. We all feel bad or say something about somebody that's thinking crazy about us. No matter what color you are, no matter what creed you are, no matter what man or woman. All I'm saying to you is I got another way of looking at something. And I'm asking my brothers and my sisters, I know y'all want to hate somebody so much, but y'all the same ones that keep your eyes closed to being used. Look at the people that want you to not like that man. Look at them. Look at the people that want you to just not like an individual. Lunchroom, 6th grade lunchroom table. Just look at them. Look at who they using to relay a message to you. Millionaires that are black. Millionaires that are black. How do they resonate with poor black people? You can see what's going on. You just don't want to see it. I heard on Emmanuel's show, I think it was yesterday, day before, or something like that, Friday, maybe. I'm not sure what it was. He always asked the question, or he always posed the question of black folks, meaning me, who try to talk about the Trump guy or talk about the Republican Party being an option. They're just trying to take you away from the Democratic Party. And then when I ask them a question about, well, what has the Republican Party done for you? I kind of have to ask the question. This is probably one of the only times in my life that I answer a question with a question. They do it all the time. But my question to you is, this is what Drop was trying to tell you. Because I make my choice and what I make my choice, your question shouldn't be what the Republican Party doing for me. For me, your question to me should be, why did you leave the Democratic Party? That's what he was trying to get you to understand, but yet you kind of drive this stake in his heart of making it sound like being a Republican is so bad. You didn't ask him, well, what's wrong with the Democratic Party? Why did you leave? I think that's what he's trying to get you to understand. You want him to praise a party, being the Republican Party. You want him to praise that, and then that'll answer all your questions of why he decided to leave. That ain't always how you get your answers to questions. That's not always how you do it. So here's what I'll do. I'll put mine on the line for you. I'll give you an idea of why I don't like the Democrats. Get mad at me if you want to. But y'all know what I root and shoot for over here more than anything, and that's education. Who supports the worst education system in America? What party supports the worst education system we have in America? Now, if you don't know what the worst education system is in America, you might want to start there first. Get that information. What party makes you part of supporting things that you really don't want to be part of? You don't mind supporting gays and lesbians, but what about the transgenders and all those other letters? You okay with that? Let me ask you this. What party teaches you how to become independent in this country? What party is more about the economics of America? What party keeps you in place? What party brought men out of the homes? What party incentivized men to not be part of a family's life? What party incentivized that? Daryl Carpenter said, got to admit sorry, the screen is moving. Daryl Carpenter said, got to admit that, it's moving, He says, got to admit the Democrats. But what does Republicans bring to education? School choice. 2 words, school choice. What Democrats do you know support school choice? There's some deep down inside that do. They just don't want to admit it because they're stubborn enough to see what's wrong but won't admit what's wrong. What party is controlling the demographic areas of all of the black folks that are oppressed in these black communities? What about all these democratic areas that have these high crime ratings? Stop telling me that black folks are aggressive. Stop telling me that black people commit all the crimes, because they don't. There's black people all over America. Some live in the suburbs, some live in the inner city, some live in the inskirts, some live in the outskirts. You can say whatever you want to say. We know that black people are no more aggressive than anybody else. So why do we continue to fall for the, well, if we keep those people there, they keeping them people there? No, though there is a frame of mind. There's a frame of mind out here, and there is a group of liberals, there's a group of people who co-sign the shit. I made a comment yesterday. Let me give you a perfect example of what I'm talking about. I said if I had a Democrat and a Republican, and I was sitting with the two decision makers about gun choice, gun laws, I said, I want both of y'all to have your way. I want the Republicans to be able to carry all the guns they want to carry. I want the Democrats to be able to say, hey, we got to get some type of control of this gun violence, because they think it's gun violence. It has nothing to do with the mental attitude of individuals. So what I would say is, I tell you what, y'all carry all the guns you want. But here's the problem with that. Regardless of what laws and regulations and rules and sentences that you put in place, there's still going to be a group of people that just don't give a shit. If they get caught with a gun, they facing a mandatory 36 months or 24 months of a weapon under disability charge in Hamilton County. Do you know how many court dockets I see in Hamilton County where young men have weapons under disability? They don't care. They still breaking the law. Do you think they would do it if they were facing 12 years for that same count? Go ahead and answer the question. I know some of y'all going to say yes. They will still carry those guns. Well, guess what? If the rule, if the punishment is 12 years, now we got somebody off the streets that don't give a shit about breaking laws and rules, making it tough for the people in their community. Motherfucking Mason ain't worried about the dude that catch the weapons under disability charge that live in Westwood. Mason ain't worried about that. Westchester ain't worried about that. They're not plaguing people in Westchester or Mason or Indian Hill. They're not doing that. Y'all not even focusing on the residual crime in your own community. Just like the shooting that just went on. Yeah, it was racially motivated. It's going to happen. Asians shoot, blacks shoot, white man shoot. He don't like black guys. Just like I said, yes. Do you know how much blowback I got for saying Kamala Harris was just in Jacksonville, Florida? Didn't I tell y'all some shit was going to? I'm going to let y'all wait and see. Did I not say that a month and a half ago? Where did the next massive shooting of racial tension go on? Jacksonville, Florida. I said, there's a reason why she went there. I know I don't know shit, but I'm going to say it anyway. Told you got to sometimes see the tragedy before after it happens, to go back and say, well, yeah, Wyatt did say that. So then I get some blowback yesterday because I make a comment saying, hey, I tell you what, why don't you start giving heavier sentences to people that get caught breaking the laws with guns? Maybe that'll be a deterrent. A lot of people came on and said, nah, bro, that ain't going to be no deterrent. That ain't going to be a deterrent. Okay, maybe not. But guess what it is? It's a win-win. It may not be a deterrent, but now you got 12 years not to worry about another residual killing, residual shooting, or any of that. That is just too damn complicated, huh? I don't understand why we got a problem getting the people off the street that commit all these crimes and these problems, and the first person that come to the rescue of these folks be the same chaos agents that say, is something wrong? It's, it ain't got to be him. I heard Emmanuel go on this big spiel yesterday. I love my brother, but this is what I'm talking about. He went on a spiel yesterday about how black people that commit these same type of crimes, like what the white boy did in the Family Dollar General or whatever, he said, see, why ain't black people talking about black people having mental issues when they shooting in the community? That could be mental. There's a difference between mental actions and gang actions, street shit. See, you don't know that, E, because you ain't from that. There's a lot of people in the parties that aren't from the streets, and there's a lot that are from the Democratic Party that's from the streets, and they clearly could see the difference from a motherfucker that got mental health issues and somebody that's just a street dude. A gang member might not be making the right decisions, but he has a family that he supports in the gang violent activity. That's gang related. That's what gang people do. It's not a mental illness. It's a way of life. And if you're going to compare gang violence and street shit to mental health issues, you're not comparing the right fruit. It's two different things. Am I suggesting that there's some street dudes that don't have mental illness? Of course not. There's some prominent people that got mental illnesses. No, come on, DC. Don't say, come on, bro. I'm gonna read it. Daryl Carpenter said, gang shit is mental illness, bro. PTSD. When did the PTSD? Okay, so listen, bro. Maybe some shit that happens while you're in a gang leads to PTSD. Just like when you go into the war. Before you go in the military, do you have PTSD? No. You get that shit once you get there if you go to war. What about before you got there? Explain that. Here's what I said a long time ago. Then I'm gonna piece everybody out because I'm tired, to be honest with you. Let me explain something to you right now. I made this comment a long time ago. It's about a year ago on Wyatt Live. I don't like the separatists. I don't like people that talk all that old shit about, separate, us being separate and all that old shit. Because I'm gonna tell you something right now. There's just certain people that I wouldn't want to live around. People that look like me, people that don't look like me. I don't want to be around you. It's been proven that most black people feel that way. It's been proven. Because we from the hood, and every time we get some money, what do? When was the last time you seen a brother that's from the hood buy a big-ass house in the hood? When was the last time you seen that? I'm talking about that they ain't got to be there. I ain't talking about buying investment property. I'm talking about when was the last time you see somebody that is accomplished, went out and did something good in life, building a dynasty, and he built a house or he buy a house in his community that he grew up in. Most people get out of those places. Now, I ain't talking about if you lived in Bond Hill. I'm talking about the hood. I'm talking about the ghetto. When's the last time you seen somebody just make all the money? I mean, I don't know one. I don't know one. I don't know too many multimillionaires living in the ghetto because they that attached to the hood. So we all do it. And it started a long time ago. Whether y'all want to admit it or not, it started a long time ago. Because while we hollering about redlining and all that old shit, basically what we saying is, man, we want to live amongst them white folks. We got the money. I want to go. I want to live over there. It didn't clink in anybody's mind that if you have the economic resources to build your own community, to straighten up the people around you versus leaving. Fuck that. I don't want to be around here with all these motherfuckers like shooting on the street and they selling incense on the corner, got Grippo bags on the floor, all this old shit. It's a trash can right there. Most black people that get money leave. They go somewhere else and they proud to go. Explain that. Explain to me why when we could have bought community property and we had the people that had the resources and the money to be able to do it, why didn't we build where we were if we were so unified? What tears down the equity in property in communities? I hear y'all say this old crazy shit. The inspector, the appraiser comes into a black person's home, and because they got black pictures on the wall and they got a black statue, they just took $100,000 off of a house. That's a motherfucker ain't never owned a house. Or that's somebody that owned a house that's talking to some people that don't know the process, because that is not how it works. You got a whole 3-mile radius of shit. So if you got a house on Lynn Street, you got Lynn, Army, Bank Street, John Street, that whole freaking perimeter plays a part in evaluating your property value, not what you got on your walls. The only reason why you don't want to hang personal things up on your wall is not for the inspector, it's not for the appraiser, it's for the potential buyer. And I don't care if you live in a white neighborhood or a black neighborhood, it is a suggestion to you to take all personal things down. The potential buyer might not believe in your philosophies of life, not necessarily because you black, white, purple, green, Jewish, brown, red, white, or blue. You don't want to deter a potential buyer. Them people, I couldn't stand it. Black folks owned a house in Loveland, Ohio, used a white realtor, a white inspector, used a bank manager that was white. All the shit in the world was white, except for the person who was selling the house in Loveland. It's a white neighborhood, but the owner of the house was black. And what did those black folks do? What did those black folks do when they didn't get their way? They yelled racism. Simple and easy to do. It's racist. We got $100,000 less for our house. Because it's got to be because I had my mama and them up on the wall. No, it wasn't. You didn't come back and tell, where's the retraction of that story? Black folks got that in their mind that happened to those black folks. But if you're so black and so conscious about black people, why didn't you use a black realtor? Why didn't you use a black loan officer? If you that caught up in structural black economics. See, you gave all the white people your money. Then when you felt like you was done wrong, you want to run to the black community to get the shit out there for you and clean up. You went on a podcast and told a bunch of bullshit and didn't tell the truth. You didn't tell the truth that there was discrepancies in the paperwork. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Kevin B, don't put yourself out there like that. I know the legalities of that case. Please don't do that, bro. I know exactly why the house got hit $100,000 less. Had nothing to do with those people being black. And if you want more receipts on that, I got it. Look it up. Who was they being racist for? The seller was black. Do you know who the buyer was? Do you know who the buyer was, Kevin? Do you know who the buyer was? So now we're going to discriminate against black people to benefit black people. That's what happened there. The seller was black. The buyer was black. There was discrepancies in the appraisal. They had the house hit for like 16 years longer than it really was. It was the discrepancy in the year that the property was built. There was discrepancies in the what do they call it? In the appraisal. That's what it was. But that ain't got nothing to do with my point. My point was, if you so black conscious on how we doing being black and black this, and when shit don't go for you well, why would you go use a bunch of white people if that's going? Why didn't you use a black realtor? Why didn't you do what you should have done in the first place instead of letting them, even if what they did was, let's just hypothetically say, for the argument of that they got done like that on purpose. So you consciously go to the black people who can come to your defense for your benefit, but you don't reach out to black companies to help you through your process of buying a new home, selling your home, getting a black lender. You don't do that. See, that's the type of shit that I'm talking about when it comes down to us. We'll use each other for benefit and then and walk away. That's it. We're not trying to make no sacrifice. I mean, come on now. My real estate agents know exactly what I'm talking about. They know what I'm talking about. One appraiser can't make that world of a difference and you not see a red flag in your home. Kevin B., if you tried to sell your home today, if you tried to sell your house today, you know somewhat what it's worth. You got to. You can go on the internet yourself and say, hey, the last house in my area sold for $350,000. What makes my house worth $150,000? What makes my house worth $200,000? Look at the specs. This is just information. Look at the specs and say, well, why am I getting hit $150,000 less? There has to be a discrepancy in something here. It's a very easy figure out. It's very easy. Now, if you want to say that it's racial or whatever, be my guest. But the paperwork is what the paperwork is. Your area is what makes the value of your property. Not the fact that you ain't got painted walls and all that old shit. And that might have something to do with, okay, look, because most of the time when you sell a house, you're going to have to do some work to the house for the potential buyer anyway. They give them a schedule. They basically say, okay, you're a potential buyer. What are some of the things in here that you would like to see change if you were to buy this property? Okay, well, you don't want the yellow walls in the bathroom. All right, so we'll make sure that those yellow walls turn into white walls. You don't want that. You want the basement finished. Okay, well, we'll finish the basement. Or we'll half finish it. We'll do this. There are things that, see, Kevin B., everybody's not as privileged as you, brother. You moved into a house. I watched you build it. You didn't have to go through the process of buying a home like most people. Your shit came with a wrapper on it. You had to pull the plastic off your shit. Most people never will experience that. Most people won't experience that. You didn't have to go in, and you could have went in there and said, okay, I want a window frame in my basement right here. I want it to be a bar type thing. Can y'all do that? Make sure y'all do that. You got to pay for it. Yeah, what you mean you wish? I seen you, bro. Don't get on here lying and shit. I seen your house being built. I seen it. The house in Loveland, don't trip, bro. Don't come on here with that shit. I seen it. I seen them carrying drywall in there building your shit. I seen it. Everybody don't have that privilege. Everybody don't have that privilege. So when I hear things like that that's pushing these narratives and it's making black folks feel like we still victimized, y'all just gonna have to be mad at me. The biggest the biggest oppressor we have right now is our education system. Who controls our education system? Who's keeping our education system in check? So, E, when you ask the question, when you ask the question of, well, what is the Republican Party doing for you? Well, I can't say it's doing much for 77% of the black community that's voting for them. Because if they were doing anything for them, they wouldn't be saying the same shit they've been saying. Do you realize that Martin Luther King's speech is still relevant today? There's some black folks in the Republican Party, whether y'all want to hear this or not, call me whatever you want to call me. But there's some black folks in the Republican Party who live in that dream that Martin Luther King had. Now, you may not like that. That's a bold fucking thing for a black man to say, ain't it? Yeah, to a cynical mind. Yeah, I said something yesterday about, look, I drive anywhere and everywhere I want in the city of Cincinnati, in my city in Florida. I do not look over my shoulder worried about some policeman pulling me over, worrying about if he pull me over, will he beat my ass? Am I worried about any of that? No. And most of y'all not either. Am I worried about maybe I went too fast and I'll get a ticket? Who wants to get a ticket? Nobody. But am I worried about being the next black man drug out of his car and shot? No. But am I worried? Am I more fearful of that? Or am I more fear to go into one of my communities and something happen to me? What's more likely to happen? Me get into it with a police officer and him shoot me, or me go into a community that just ain't too fond of, I look like a mark. I look like a chump. What's more of a threat to me? Now, you can say what you want to say. I already know the radio, the people on the radio, they'll say, see, that's what's wrong with our sedity ass Negroes. That's what's wrong with us. No, what's wrong is you ain't got none of us that'll step up and tell your ass to your face to add more value to yourself. I'm bold enough to do it. I teach it. I pass it on to my children. I ain't teach my kids that the white folks are my enemy. I taught them that you just have to be more valuable. You as an individual have to be valuable. The more value you are, the more leverage you hold. That's in life. If you keep living like some of these folks that want you to be scared of white folks, you'll never see $1 million. You'll always believe they control your destiny. They don't control your destiny. And if you look at how many people that think that way, spend their money that way with those folks, you would understand why they keep winning. Get mad at me if you want to, but all I can tell you is I stopped listening to the same shit 30 years ago. I stopped being in that same shell and being taught and being run over and all that shit. I stopped that a long time ago. Now you got a whole nother generation that's now looking at the past and saying like, hey, wait a minute, hold on. Where's our OGs? Where's our people that need to be telling us? Well, you got to understand a lot of them ain't been taught. A lot of them haven't been taught. You know why? Because they don't want to learn. Look, I don't want to say don't want to learn, but you don't know what you don't know. If you don't know it, then you don't know to know it. If you don't know that the differences that people have in their life come from the choices that they make, maybe you ain't never been in a position to be able to make that same decision that somebody that did something different has done. But the problem is we got too many people that want to look at the people that's going in the right direction and say, look at that sedity ass Negro. He think he better. But wait a minute. Is he bringing information that could be potent to you? That could be powerful for you? Or is he just talking shit? I got this one clip I want to show before I get out of here. I know y'all don't want to see it, but on that note, I want to play it. I don't even know what it's called, but I'm going to play it. I hope I pull the right clip. It fits right into what I'm talking about. Here it is right here. It's been in the Wyatt Live Messenger group for a long time. I just never played it, but I want you to hear this. Now, this may not be for kids. This may not be for kids. So you might want to hold their ears tight. This is for the people that really need to hear it, though.
Niggas is waiting on entertainers to do it for, but it's real people out here that's been doing this shit that niggas never look at. And that's the fucked up part, cause it's I need a sensational nigga to tell me how to do something. But it's a nigga in your neighborhood that's been showing you the fucking way. But niggas don't care about that shit. I need you to have on jewels and all this other shit, which is fucking fucked up. Cause you creating a system of people who only look at niggas who have material gains to listen to. And these not the great thinkers of this fucking world. It's nobody quoting these niggas as the great thinkers of this world. But that's the niggas who niggas look at. But the niggas who are really in depth and who have solutions for this shit, who don't never think about can't. Nigga, I'm solution based. I don't listen to problems to gossip with niggas. And I understand. But niggas don't have no fucking heart. You can't go to war with niggas who love tangible things. And niggas talk that fucking warrior shit, but these niggas is so unproven. But you give your loyalty to niggas who are unproven, who do shit for money and that's it. They don't do shit for the love of the people. And the biggest commodity of anything is the fucking people. It's no you without the people. You don't give a fuck how much money you got. With no people, nigga, you're nothing. I survive with the people. It's niggas that's growing food when niggas is hungry. Nigga, we got a garden. We growing food for niggas. You ain't got to go to the grocery store. That's the real shit. Niggas is waiting.
Took the words right out of my mouth. We'll listen to unproven people. I don't want to use the N word. And then when a proven mug come around, he think he better. But then when the slick tongue cats come around and start talking that oppressed shit and what the government not doing for us and where we behind and all this old shit, that seems to fit the drum a little easier. That tickles the senses in the ear and we can pay attention to that. Real shit is it's hard to tune in on real shit sometimes. It's real hard to tune in on it. I got another thing that I want to bring up that I've gone through. I brought the boxing to my conversation here. I want to bring up something that came from the promotion end. It was pertaining to boxing, okay? But listen to this little bit of story. When I was doing the promotion end of boxing, now this is very relevant, but you got to listen closely. I used to do flyers, promotional items. And on those flyers, I would always put the boxer in the front, co-main events in the back, and I would put a lot of words. This was me. Inexperienced to a certain demographic of individuals. I'm first to say this to you. Inexperienced with a certain demographic of individuals. Some people are going to see this as a shot. It's not a shot. This is a fact. I would make flyers that would have an individual in the front, the co-main events, and the other fighters in the back. And I would put a lot of words on it. The location, the date, the time, a little bio of this fighter. I'm promoting an individual. You know what they told me? You know what the people, not the fighters. You know what the people told me who normally do the flyers? The people in the city who do the flyers, y'all know, y'all see the flyers, white party, all white party. You ever notice that they put one picture on there of a person, the statue of like the city of Cincinnati in the background or Fountain Square or some shit like that, and they just leave it alone, put the date and the location, and that's it? I'm like, damn, they ain't gonna talk about who the DJ is, and then no, what I found out is, and it's been told to me right to my face, Wyatt, can't put all them words on there, man. Motherfuckers ain't trying to read all that shit, man. They just need a time and a date and the picture. They don't want more information. They don't want to know how much it cost. They don't want to know the age stipulations. They don't want to know the shit where if they show up, they might not have the right stuff. Do you understand? Y'all see where I'm going with it? They don't want to have see that you got to understand. There's a demographic of people out here that don't want information. They're visual. They're optical. They love the optics of the information. The optics explains it all. Party on December the 6th, 9 o'clock. That's it. That's all they want. They don't need no more information. They don't care if it's the gay night. They don't know none of that shit. They just want to show up. Very little information is involved. It's not necessary. And you know what? That was told to me by guys that make professional flyers. They said, what kind of event is this? Oh, yeah, this going to be easy. We ain't got to say shit. So the more information, you basically telling me that the demographic of these individuals, the less information you give them, that works. Yeah, man, you can't be telling. You don't have to say all that stuff. You ain't got to say all that. You ain't got to do this and do that. You ain't got to tell them what it costs. You don't have to put all that on there. You ain't got to put the phone number on there for them to call and get information. They ain't going to call and do all that. They just going to show up. And that's why you got people that put shit out here in the media the way they do. They don't have to have real information. They don't have to have facts of the occurrence. They don't have to know all the information they need to know to be part of it. You don't think politicians, you don't think the political game is the same way? Put the optics out there. That's enough. They'll get it. What demographic you think they going after? What demographic? Now you look at me and you'll say, oh, see, he just think, all that old shit, because I want to know the who, what, when, and where, and why. I want the information so I can make sure I'm supposed to be there. I want the information to make sure I'm supposed to vote for this individual. I want more information about the person you want me to hate. I need some facts about what you're saying. There is a group of people that market to people that don't need information. The optics is enough. Put the flyer out there, damn it. Put the flyer out there, put a face on it, put a time and a date, they'll show up. They don't need no information. They'll follow the next man in front of them. They're a herd of people. They followers. They don't need no damn information. They got a pocket full of money and they'll pay whatever you say. If you don't believe me, pay attention to this weekend flyers at any event. You ain't even got to go to the event. Just go to an event page and look at the history of all their flyers that they didn't put out. They'll put a big booty ass girl up there on a stripper pole, give you the time and date and the location. That's all you need. They don't care nothing about nothing else. They're visual, optic driven individuals. Bottom line. And there's a group of people that know that the less that you make them read, the less information that you provide for them, the more they're going to go the way you want them to go, because all they need to do is give you the visuals, the optics that you need to attract them. That's it. Bottom line. Been wanting to say that for a long time. I've been wanting to say that one for a long time. I didn't think I was going to make it on today. I didn't think I was going to make it on today. Time is it? Oh, I've been on for my time. Is that my time? Let me see something. Is E on? Is E on? Does anybody know if E is on? Did Emmanuel say he was going on today? Does anybody know? Yes, no. 3:30? Is that right? 3:30? 3:30? DC, did you get your daughter in school up there, man? Everything good on that, bro? Everything good up there, bro, in Michigan State? Oh, he said 3:30? Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. He said, yes, sir. I just talked to her this morning. Oh, what's good? Kevin, none but love over here, Kevin B. None but love, brother. Pound back at you. He said, yes, sir. I just talked to her this morning. Yeah, man. Yeah, you'll be talking to him a little bit more. We do FaceTimes. It was myself, my other daughter's at Ohio State, my other daughter's at Belmont. My wife and I took a phone call. It's Eastern Michigan. I'm sorry about that, bro. Eastern Michigan, not Michigan State. My wife and I did a phone call. They called yesterday and see we got this FaceTime thing, and you can do like 4 pictures, 4 split screens on a FaceTime. This technology is ridiculous. It's crazy. And we was on the phone. My wife was on the phone with them from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock on this FaceTime. Thank God they have made these phone plans unlimited. Damn, I couldn't imagine if it was like when they first brought phones out, charging 10 cents a minute. I wouldn't be able to afford it. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be able to go. Remember when cell phones, it was $1 a minute? When it got down to 25 cents a minute, we was feeling good about that. Now it's unlimited, which tells me the shit could have always been unlimited. Don't you hate that? Let me tell you. Let me just say this one thing. Y'all ain't gonna like what I'm gonna say about this sales shit. Like sales at Biggs, like what's that? Dick's and like the stores and shopping stores, and when you go buy clothes. Look, I don't ever want to see the shit I buy on sale. Don't you hate it when you say for instance I went back to the store. Well, I'm just gonna use this jacket for an example. If I bought this jacket and if it was $10, and then 2 weeks later I go to the mall and I see this same jacket on the shelf and now it's $5.99, I'm upset about that shit. I'm upset about it. Why am I upset? Not because it's $5.99 now. I'm upset because when I came in this store, I could have bought it for $5.99. Y'all could have sold it to me for $5.99. Y'all still could have made a profit because y'all ain't gonna sell something that you're not making a profit on or not breaking even. You ain't gonna lose no money on it. So I don't like to see my shit on sale because that means if I bought it for retail and now it's reduced down, that means I could have bought it for a slight difference in price, but you just chose not to sell it to me at that time for that. I don't like that. Let me ask you something. Would you like it if you went to a car dealership and you seen the car on the showroom floor and it said 50,000 and you paid 50,000 and then a month later you take it up there to get an oil change, your same car in a different color is sitting on the showroom floor, the same spot, and that one is marked down to $39,999, wouldn't you be like, damn, that means you could have sold me mine for that? I know I ain't tripping. So I don't buy shit that I can one day come in there and see it's on sale. I just don't do that because I freak out. I'll be like, whoa, wait a minute now. And that's why I negotiate everything. I don't go anywhere or do anything that I can't negotiate the price. It's either going to be on sale or it's negotiable. My wife can't stand me about that. She can't stand it. No, I'm not talking about the grocery store. If I catch something at the grocery store, it's on sale, I feel like I got a deal. I'm talking about big ticket items. I never pay what they say. All right? I just don't do it. You got to find me a rebate. You got to find me some form of getting some type of discount on this because I know a discount is available. Find it. Scratch and dent, some shit. Find it. Oh, find it. Hey, I got to go, man. That's my time. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Peace and love to all the loved ones. Holla.
Listen to the dance. There's nothing you can do to make me run away from this game here. This game here. And there is no MC that put the competition to Kim, no. Kim, no. Yes, I'm telling you from the start, I will break your little heart. There's nothing you can do, so just respect the dance. There is no word you can say that it would offend the Kim, no. Better listen, I'm gonna murder them. Murder them. Any competition, I'm gonna murder them. I'm gonna blow off their wit. Blow off their wit. All you frontin' MCs, I'm gonna blow off your wit. When I'm gone, you will appreciate my. When I'm gone, you wanna spit my lyrics, better go on. I'm not gonna put up with it, I swear to God. Your jealous make me sick. See, I ain't got no day. Somebody gon' pay. Got things to do and places to be. I'm about to take back what's owed to me. Live from Beth, the star, the sun, the livest one. We right here, we right here, we right here.
Oh y'all, let it go. No disrespecting ho. 4 years since Dow dropped. 11 million records sold. 5 moved on volume 2. Dog saw me grinning Denny. Try to get out of line. 4 cases pending. 3 got it coming. Save May, June. 6 album drops. Stay tuned. It's Jake every day. No days off. No jewels dripping and I took the shades off. You wanna rump with me? Slump you uncomfortably. Put your back where your stomach should be. I'm dangerous when tempted. Best left alone. Best believe the gun got Tourette syndrome. Beretta sounds like rep when it's thrown. You're headed for a cold place, young and dressed warm. Too much hustle. Too easy to touch you. Little you go play. PSJ. PSBR-OK-LYN. Stay out my way. PSLIL to the K, I to the M, BI to the N.
Part of my friends, sometimes I get kinda peeved at these weak MCs with these supreme baller like lyrics. I call them like I CMG. Them sound like me. Part of my friends, sometimes I get kinda peeved at these weak MCs. You just got some audacity. You sold $1 million, now you have for me. Get off my dick.
Look for B.I. then bust one in the sky. Haters watch your back, we might bust one in your eye. It's going down tonight, so don't get out of line. Enough men to try, but enough men to die. Biggie crowned me Miss Queen forever, even left me this throne in the iced out tiara. What? What the who the wanna with this Brooklyn night bandit? Blow you off the planet. Never trouble no one. But if your trouble is girl, it will bring a bomb. What a bomb.
Part of my friends, sometimes I get kinda peeved at these weak MCs with these supreme baller like lyrics. I call them like I CMG. Them sound like me. Part of my friends, sometimes I get kinda peeved at these weak MCs. You got some audacity. You sold $1 million, now you have for me. Get off my dick and kick it. Part of my friends, sometimes I get kinda peeved at these weak MCs with these supreme baller like lyrics. I call them like I CMG. Them it sound like me. Part of my friends, sometimes I get kinda peeved at these weak MCs. You got some audacity. You sold $1 million, now you have for me. Get off my dick and kick it. Part of my friends, sometimes I get kinda